It's how you control the production of those things. And whether we're going to be known as a place that's critical versus incidental. As we are here tonight, Wollongong is an incidental place to sit. It's not a critical place to sit. But I want to talk about how we can become a critical place in the world and why we should become a critical place in the world. So it's about controlling our future. It's about innovation. And there are cities that were, and the cities I'm going to put up here, if you go through a matrix with, were cities that were not necessarily winners. They went through many of the things you're going through here. Newcastle is one of them I'm going to mention. Geelong is another one. So we've got to start using our heads and using our raw resources to do these things. Build an entrepreneurship system that promotes innovation and makes quality of life our central asset. Because, and I've said this, I've written 4 books on economic development, 4 editions of 1 book. Unfortunately, it's a bestseller now. And the book says, and I developed the book from the notions I got here in Australia. The book starts out saying that you cannot attract business. Business attraction is a waste of money and time. I've done all the numbers on it. We pay more for attracting business than ever get. We live in a region called Illawarra. So, much like a business, the board of directors can never be better than the workers and the management. I've said on a lot of boards, Fortune 500 companies, and we said, we're going to change the CEO, we're going to be better. Never happens. Never happens. What we have to do is change the company and get the right people doing the right things. So in this region, Wollongong is the capital of this region. It has to have a regional focus. So if there's some weak places, Shaohei, whatever, or Kimberley, we've got to work with that. We can't say that's their business, because it affects our business. So we have to have a regional perspective, and we have to break that regional perspective down into precincts. And each of those precincts has to be distinctive. To be distinctive, we have to be smart, we have to be sharp. And we have to use our natural assets and not run them down. And once we have here, great natural assets. The first time I saw Wollongong ever, I think there was a world surfing contest going on here. First time I saw it on TV, I said, Wollongong what? What's that? Wollongong what? What is it? But the image I got of Wollongong was surf. The natural environment. And there are some places, Yosemite and so forth, they live on that natural environment. We have to live in part on this natural environment. We have to generate an identity. We're talking about this earlier. We've got this little plan, and some of you might have it on Wollongong. I love the gong. I say Big Apple. You got it, right? And I'm not against this. I'm just saying, if you could put anybody in the same space, it's not yours. When you see that switch sign, what is it? You don't have to ask, do you? See those golden arches? Don't have to ask. The identity has to be so tight that when you see it, you know it. Sydney has got it. Now, if they'd been left a politician, there'd be no outcomes, nor bridge. But fortunately, there's some brave, smart people that make them happen. So we've got to do that, and we have to build on, but separate ourselves from Sydney. Build on. Newark, all these towns around New York City build on New York's identity. But Stanford, Newark, all these places have their own separate identity within that metropolitan system. So what's ours going to be? And I'll nominate some, and I want you to think about it. So, the last time I was here, I talked about being distinctive versus being different. Every time I see one of those big Ferris wheels, Melbourne has one now, Hockey London, and so forth. That's a different Ferris wheel. It breaks down at a different time. It's a little more stupid than the one in London. But there's nothing distinctive about a Ferris wheel. What's distinctive? Distinctive is something that is not replicated when you do it. Now you're going to be adding to your mall. You have one of the best urban designers in the world from Civitas working with you. He's going to insist on a distinctive mall. And some of you are going to say, wait, hold on, I have never seen that before. If you haven't ever seen that before, it must be good. That's what distinction is about. Making something that people come to you to see as among the best, versus being just different. So, we have to build, and I took a walk in the mall today. It's a little uglier than it was before, but it has something different. It has I haven't seen those before. It's quite different. I know some birds avoided it, but we were walking. The birds are pretty smart. We had a bandstand there. It was perfect. It blocked the views in all directions. That's certainly distinctive. I've never seen it do something quite that bad. But, not bad. Connectivity, strategic capacity, entrepreneurship, I won't go through that again. But connectivity. Connectivity, for me, always starts with how fast can you get to the airport? And what is your line speed on your computer? The NBN is probably the best investment we will ever make in this country. Because that will allow places like this to compete globally in real time, in real speeds, and the distance between Sydney and Wollongong. So we have to be connected electronically, and we have to be connected to airports so we can move around the world, so people around the world can move to us. Now, Sydney Airport needs to be fixed, for sure. Probably need another one. And if there were another one, it should be on the table just above us, right here. So, innovation. Incubator, I'm just to stick with incubator. We're pretty low on the incubator side. We have the university, this tech park incubator, but we don't have a whole bunch of incubators. Now, incubators are whole places, not just buildings. Emeryville is an incubator for biotechnology. Emeryville, California, it's a city. Palo Alto is an incubator for the software, Google Campus. It's Palo Alto. It's not a building. The smartest and best incubators are whole communities that have the infrastructure together so you can incubate there and build your business there. And that requires one thing that we seldom have here, and I can sit on boards of a couple small companies. We have no venture capital. I'm going to Hong Kong in a couple of weeks. Raise venture capital for a firm that makes things in Australia. I mean risk capital. People really lose their money. So let's start thinking about, could we start an OR fund to get some of these startups that spin out of the university growing up here? University of Wisconsin does it. They do morning play football and drink beer. So we got to do that. Who, where, what is Wollongong? Because you all love it, doesn't mean anybody knows it. Strategic direction, I read the KPMG report, says we don't have enough of it. I don't know why you pay them for that. So, see, I always ask consultants to tell me where to go, not what I already know, but I'm kind of funny that way. Business leadership, we got a lot of groups here, but we don't have anything like joint venture Silicon Valley. It's really setting the mark. And organizational capacity, kind of thing across the entire world. You know where you're going, you have to have a few strategic steps, and if you do that, I guarantee you'll get there.